Well, today I'm going to be converting this Polaris 6x6 Sportsman 500 into a 4x4 because of ongoing chain issues on this last axle here, and bearings going out, needing to replace them, and the axle is frozen onto the hub. So last ditch effort to use this machine for something is to remove this whole back end here and just use that on that end and forward. So the box isn't going to be very usable, but the engine still runs, so I think that's our only option. So first, I'm going to remove these two bolts right there and right there, holding on this shock, or support. Better angle here. I'm going to remove this strut mount up there. Alright, now there is two bolts right there, 5/8, and then this one's like a 3/4, and then there's one down there that's a shorter one, runs the right there. I'm going to remove those two. Okay, so now with this whole assembly pulled out from the under the vehicle, we're removing the nut and bolt down there, holding that shock on. We already got this off. And then I have this jacked up to take off stress off of the shock that was right there. From there up to there. Now I'm going to take the shock that was in the back, and I'm going to put that one in place of this one. You can see it's much tougher. So when I kept the original shock, this whole rear end was sinking way down to where the wheels were almost touching the box, and if you get on, it'll completely go down. So that's not going to work. But you can see here the difference. It's a little bit longer and it's a lot heavier duty. So we're going to see if this will work. We're going to try and install it in there. So this is it installed. The larger one fits in just fine. It's really close to that piece there. In fact, it scrapes if you jack it up and these drop all the way. But when it's compressed, it fits. So I'm going to install those bolts and nuts right there. Okay, so I have that new the larger shock installed, and this is what it looks like at rest. So it's actually holding that up pretty well. I think this will work. See right there, there's the larger shock or strut, and you can see it's got clearance between the brace here, which is the closest thing to contact, mounted right in there. It was the same hookup, same dimension bushing, same bolts. And there's the old axle with the failed bearings, and there's the old shock. And there it is, running and driving. Better than scrapping it. The box is pretty much level at no load, and with the load can hold a couple hundred in the bed, maybe 150 plus a 200-pound rider, let's just say. So it's okay. It's better than nothing. So in conclusion, when the axle was back in it, we removed the tires. Though you actually probably wouldn't have to do that, but it makes it easier to handle. So remove the tires, remove these two. I removed one. I tried to get them both out part way and then stick a screwdriver in there to hold it down. Do one, and then do the other the rest of the way. Because the whole bushing turns if you don't do it that way. And then those two, remove. Those two, or sorry, the one that was here, that one removed, and then these two on the unit, and then remove that one and put the big shock in place of the little one. Put those two bolts and nuts in, and that's it. It was that simple to convert a 6x6 to a 4x4. So I would not recommend doing it unless you absolutely had to.